Wholeness, beautiful beings, welcome to Notes of Nara. My name is Naja Rashida, and may this message find you well and whole. So here I am, still very stuffy, and it's pretty late tonight, but again, consistency is key, right? So tonight's topic, I wanted to talk about something a little more, I guess, tangible and relatable. As a creative and how I'm, if you've been following or you've been following my work and, or you're subscribed to my channel, you can see that my journey on this platform on YouTube has shifted a bit, from I think the 5 years ago that I started this channel. And again, it's very interesting as a media artist, meaning I write poetry, I'm a musician, and I make art. And finding my own unique blend of the three mediums, it's been a bit tough the past month or so, but it's coming together. I would say, fabricating and weaving my own unique storytelling with these mediums. Finding the time and the energy actually is a bit of a challenge, given that I work full-time in a very demanding job right now. Very grateful, but for the pay and, for the stability, but at the same time, it is all-consuming. All-consuming. And I know I kind of ranted about that a little bit the other day about how we're all pretty much selling our soul. And to me, it's more of you're selling tickets to the gateway of your soul. I don't think the soul can truly be sold. It's more of the essence, giving access to the sacred part of you for exchange to survive, right? And that's what's deeply ingrained in society now. We have this normalized, imbalanced, exploitive way about our time and where our time is, where we invest our time. So yes, back to organizing my vision and for my creative world, my creative life. So yes, I have the 5 petal project that I introduced, I believe it was last week or earlier it was last week. And then I have my octave mandolin. So I am a classically trained musician. I have a degree in that. That's my background, my passion ever since I was a child. I've, trained in cello for many years, and then I began to sing at the age of 16. I am now 37, working professional, and my creative life has taken the back seat for probably about 13 or 14 years. In little pockets here and there where it bubbles up and I can perform in front of people, or I can, there's a gig or something like that pops up, but it hasn't really been the forefront. Excuse me if I end up sneezing in this video. I apologize. Oh, and here it is. Oh, nope. Okay, I think the sneeze is going to pass. Okay, anyway, yes, so my creative life has kind of taken a back seat. But as explained in previous videos, and as you can see, I'm sharing more of my artwork. I'm sharing more of my music, my journey. So yes, I introduced the 5 Petal Project. I have shared some of my poetry, and I've uploaded some of my octave mandolin clips. Now, my journey with playing string instruments, I loved them. I love chordophones. If I could, I'd have a room full of them with, the classical harp and any string instrument I would love to have in my possession. However, I am a minimalist and I like to master one thing at a time. And so I parted ways with my cello. I had that cello since I was 12 years old, and could no longer be fixed, meaning it just wasn't savable. I have a unique stories with my journey with Clorinda, that was her name. And now I have my octave mandolin, and I recently purchased her this past winter, and I think it was in January, and so learning an instrument, again, it's all like this beautiful process and this growth of taking my knowledge and my expertise of music and just learning something new and allowing the voice of the mandolin to connect with my own. And so I will be sharing that with you. Here's the thing, in classical music, you present your work, your piece, your art, when you've mastered it. You don't necessarily show the process of how you get to the final package, if you will. And that's very ingrained in my mind. But I have decided to explore this journey with learning the octave mandolin with you all. And that means playing, trying to figure out chords and, and the notes, and learning, my first Irish reel, which is very fast paced. I'm having to learn everything at a very, very slow pace. And so again, due to my past musical training, that's something I'm prepared for, the discipline and the repetition and all that. It's a form of meditation for me. So, I always, if anything, I would probably be a bit more nervous to make sure that the instrument is in tune while I play and share my practices with you and the journey with you. That's the most important thing. I'm not necessarily all geeked out on, oh my gosh, I want to sound perfect. It's imperfect, just like life. And, with the Creative Life series that I have, and I think it's going to be ongoing. I don't think it's going to be like in the past where I would have a monthly theme. I think this truly is a huge shift in my life where I am reclaiming my creative voice and reclaiming my own unique imprint when it comes to sound, writing, and the visual arts. And and that's kind of what I am sharing with you. I think the most challenging thing right now is to set it up in the way where you can understand it. You can understand what I'm doing. And you're not just getting random clips of constant, little splits here and there of my creative process. I want it to all blend into one single voice, a voice that is multi-layered. Just if you think of like a choir, right? You have the baritones, you have the soprano, you have the tenor, you have the second soprano, you have the alto, countertenor. It's a full package that I want to deliver to you all in my creative process, because I think it's something so authentic and so soul-led, not led by, influence online, not led by, something in the past, my past self, my past musical self, artistic self. Sorry, I feel another sneeze. See, I love sharing these human moments without giving you full disclosure of my whole entire life. I don't think that's necessary. I think, especially as a woman in my 30s, late 30s, I don't feel like that's necessary to do that. But creativity, art to me is meant to be shared. And through art, that's how we capture the most human parts of ourselves. And so that's what I'm really excited about. So yeah, you're going to hear, choppy, cut up chords. You're going to hear, see me, kind of struggle with the picking because I'm used to holding a bow. And so that's deeply ingrained in your subconscious, especially when you start really young. I started playing cello when I was 10. And so like for the next, you know, close to 20 years, I would play, but now, you know, this is, and I mean, I've also played with guitar. I was teaching myself how to play guitar, and then you know, so I multi-instrumentalist, obviously, and as well, I play the Native American flute, but I want to make sure that the instruments that I am connecting with, I'm not just hopping all around. I want there to be, you know, consistency with you and consistency within myself. And yeah, so starting next week, I'm going to start just incorporating more of my creative process with you. And yeah, I'm excited to learn. It does take time to learn a new instrument, just like it takes time to learn oneself. You know, I didn't arrive where I am with myself right now overnight. It's taken 37 years. I don't think it'll take 37 years to learn how to play songs on the octave mandolin, but it definitely will take some time. But over time, I think it will become like second nature. I really, really am very, very excited. I've always loved Celtic music, Irish music, anything sung in like Scottish, you know, Gaelic, Irish Gaelic. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but anything of the Celtic or Celtic culture, I love. I love the people as well. They're Irish, and no hate on the Scottish people, but Irish people have just this very special place in my heart. In my travels, I love their music. I've always connected with their music. You know, I've never been to Ireland, but maybe one day, hopefully one day, but I've met tons of Irish people in my life, and, you know, and there's always just pockets of moments, really. I've never had a sustained, you know, relationship or friendship with an Irish person, but I do love their music, and I love how calming, I love their folk tales and just their folk music, you know, sorry, not folk tales, folklore, all of it, I find so fascinating and magical, and I want to share that with you. I want to share those interests with you all, and I miss playing with people. I miss playing and singing in musical groups. That's just something that's so enriching. And was very enriching for me as a young musician and as an adult. And given that how my life is set up right now, yeah, almost impossible, to be honest with you. After I upload this video, I have to spend probably the next 2 to 3 hours doing paperwork. That's just the reality of it. And I'll call it quits by midnight, probably. But yeah, I do miss that. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like live music, and there's nothing like sharing, you know, songs that you play with your friends or people. You know, I was also part of a quartet many years ago, and I just really enjoyed that. So that's one of the reasons why I picked up the octave mandolin, because it's one of those where you can, you know, play with groups of people. So yeah, I'm really excited to get into this new world. And to explore my relationship to my own voice and singing voice. I started experimenting during the pandemic, when everything was shut down, and I just, you know, had the time. I had the energy to start teaching myself how to produce and how to engineer, you know, sounds through a cheapo little music software program, GarageBand. But, you know, with my plans to, you know, move overseas, move abroad, I don't know how long. I know it's at least a year, maybe longer, to be honest, without getting into the logistics, you know, but yeah, I'm excited. So thank you so much for those who've been with me since day one. This is something new for me, but I think something new, tapping into something that has been and turning it into something worthwhile. And I'm really moved for any amount of support and from my viewers and for my supporters, and your comments. They're very sweet, they're very kind, and thank you. So you will get another video from me for Friday, and then starting next week, Oh yeah, and the oracle card readings, of course. I'm an energy reader. That's so that's not going to change. But moving forward, I'll definitely be more focused on my creative process. So thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye.